Hello, everybody. Welcome to Glamour 101. I'm so excited to be here with my sister, Kimberly Brown.
Hey, hey.
And we're particularly excited because the Mary Kay My Way Makeover Contest is happening right now. So you are hanging with us at an opportune time. Here's how the Mary Kay Your Way Makeover Contest works. The Mary Kay Makeover Contest allows you as the customer to book an appointment with your consultant to create a new look. And we're going to walk you through a sample look this evening. Then you can complete an entry form. It ends August 31st, 2024. Your consultant's going to help you complete the entry form. Don't worry. Submit photos of your look. So we're going to make sure we have some time to take pictures together with a caption that includes your CC cream or foundation shade that you're wearing and how your new look makes you feel like your best self. So here is the cool thing. The winners are going to be announced in mid-September. 13 finalists will be chosen based on originality and creativity, adherence to the contest theme, the makeover look, caption, all of that fun stuff. And you guys, 4 grand prize winners and 9 honorable mention winners will be announced, and voting will open via Facebook. Okay, so you guys are going to be watching out for that, and your consultant's going to help you do that. And here is the grand prize. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get excited, get excited. 6 lucky winners and their consultant will win round trip airfare for 2 nights at a luxury hotel, spa treatments, $1,000 spending money, and an assortment of Mary Kay products. 7 honorable mention winners and their consultants will receive a $500 gift card, an assortment of Mary Kay products. Isn't that amazing? How exciting is that? And what a great opportunity that is. So if you are joining us for Glamour this evening, maybe you have samples with you, maybe you don't, make sure that you connect with your consultant and let her know. Just text her the word glamour and she'll know that that means you want to be entered into the Mary Kay My Way Makeover Contest between now and August 31st of 2024 so that you can be a part of that contest and get a new look. Okay? Sound good, everybody?
I think it sounds awesome.
All right. Well, everybody, let's officially get started. Kim and I are so excited to be with all of you here for kind of a Glamour 101 makeup class. If you hang out with us often, you know we're very often talking about skincare, and skincare is our jam, but makeup is our jam too, right? And I'm learning to make makeup my jam still 16 years later. And so I'm so glad to have Kimberly here with me this evening, walking us through kind of like a really, really basic but stepped up glamour look, if you will. Okay. So you may have samples, you may not have samples. If you have samples, here are some things you likely have in your samples. If you have samples, most likely you have a color card. It may have different colors than the one that I'm holding up, but you might have a color card that looks like this. So you can go ahead and pull that out. It's got 3 eyeshadows, a cheek color, and a lipstick. Okay. You may have a little lip wand that your consultant sent you along with this. You may have a sample of foundation primer. Okay, we're going to be using full size of everything, but you may have a sample of foundation primer. You may have a sample of a CC cream in your color. And if you're looking at the CC cream kind of here on the side, it tells the color that the CC cream is. Your consultant may have sent you little sponge tip applicators. As we go through today, we're going to be showing you how we use brushes with the look that we're doing, but you may have sponge tip applicators and you may have cotton pads. You're going to see us do, of course, everything-ish. All right. So don't worry if you don't have everything-ish. You can still complete like a basic glamour look with the color card and the items that you do have. But as we go along, we want to show you how we're using a bulk of other items so that if there's something that you're interested in or you want to do a deeper glamour appointment with your consultant, either in person or have her send you some stuff so you can kind of be like, oh, I saw Kim and Farrah using this on Glamour 101, or I saw them using that, or I'd like to get matched for that. Then your consultant will be happy to connect with you for that, okay? Because the focus is glamour today, we're not doing skincare, but just know we highly recommend if one, you have never done a full skincare beauty experience with your consultant, that you get that done, your makeup is only as good as the skin that's underneath it. So you want to make sure you have good skincare habits beforehand. Two, just so you know, Kim and I both washed, moisturized. We did our eye cream. We did all of our skincare prior to this. For sake of expediency and time, we're going to literally start kind of right at the glamour portions of our experience. But, you know, if you have not ever done a skincare regimen, or if you right now have not washed and moisturized your face prior to joining us, you might want to hit pause and come back and join us. Okay. So when we think about glamour, we kind of have all different steps along glamour, right? And the first step is good skincare. And the second step is kind of what I like to call the prep and the priming stage. All right. So looking at the prep and the priming stage, I'm going to focus on three main things to kick us off that have to do with that stage. Foundation, primer, and you may have a sample of this. A little bit of concealer. I'm not going to use under eye corrector today, but you may be interested in under eye corrector. I'm going to actually use our perfecting concealer underneath my eye area. Okay. And then CC cream. And I'm going to use CC cream today, but we have a variety of different foundation type products. CC cream stands for complexion correction cream. We do have a traditional matte foundation, a traditional luminous foundation, a cream to powder foundation. We have pressed powder. At the end, you'll see us use some silky setting powders and translucent powders. So we have a variety of things, but today, like I said, it's Glamour 101. So we're starting with basic things. But you know, we'll talk about all the variety of things we have in advance. Okay. All right. So I think that's everything. Am I forgetting anything, Kim, before we dive in?
I think we are in good shape to put some makeup on.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we do that, you guys, I will introduce myself and tell you a little bit about what we're doing. So we're all going to start off with foundation primer, assuming that our skin is nice and washed and cleansed and moisturized. I love foundation. Again, if you know my story, my name is Farrah Fontaine Felix. I've been building my Mary Kay business for 16 years. And one of the reasons I almost did not build a Mary Kay business was I was petrified of what we're doing right now, which was makeup. Okay. And in my mind, I thought Mary Kay and I thought makeup. Notice that I'm putting 5 dots of my foundation primer. All right. And then I'm going to, I love how Kim is dabbing it on. She is like a pro. Okay. But we're going to lightly just pull down, usually with our foundation primer. If you've been with us for skincare, you know that we always pull up. But with foundation primer, I'm going to lightly pull down because I do not want the little hairs that are on my face standing up at attention. I love how the foundation primer is nice and silky. It also has SPF 15 in it, so adds another level of SPF. If you were doing the full Miracle set, for example, you would have done the Daytime Defender as the last thing prior to putting on your foundation primer. And so your foundation primer adds another level of SPF. And I was not a makeup wearer prior to Mary Kay and was petrified about that because I thought Mary Kay was basically only a makeup brand, right? I was interested in the opportunity and I understood how the opportunity could change my life and women's lives, but I was scared about the makeup part of it. But I discovered that Mary Kay is mostly skincare and that, you know, that was something I could get down with. And then I discovered that I was going to be taught how to use glamour the same way that we're teaching you step by step. And then I discovered that I liked glamour. It's not that I wasn't a glamour girl. It was that I didn't know how to use it and that I was afraid of it. And so our goal and our hope with this Glamour 101 is if you've had any fear connected to that, we're going to breathe in, breathe out, and hopefully walk you through a fairly easy method of starting to build your comfort and confidence with glamour. It's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen overnight, but we want you to start to build your comfort and confidence. So foundation primer helps to, just like a painter primes their canvas prior to putting color, foundation primer helps to neutralize the undertone color of your skin so that when you apply foundations, or we're going to use CC cream, but it's called foundation primer, but it works for any type of foundation product. It helps to neutralize the undertone color of your skin, helps that CC cream or foundation go on smoother and look better and be more true to color, which is amazing. I always call foundation primer also the crack filler because it fills out any cracks, right? Especially with liquid foundations and things like that. You know, sometimes liquid can magnify anything that we have going on with our skin. But when we apply our foundation primer, We're not going to experience that. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do is a little bit of our perfecting concealer. You might think about the under eye corrector as well, especially if you're noticing you have a lot of dark circles under your eyes. Whether you are a deeper skin tone or a lighter skin tone, you can use under eye corrector. Are you using under eye corrector, Kim? Okay.
No,
Awesome.
not today.
Okay. So what are you using? What color are you using for concealer?
So I'm in light bronze concealer.
Light bronze, and I'm going to use deep bronze concealer. Now, both of us happen to be bronze, but we have concealer across a variety of colors. We've got a ivory, light ivory, deep ivory, light beige, deep beige, light bronze, and deep bronze. So again, connect with your consultant. She will consult with you and help you figure out your perfect color. All right. So everybody does glamour differently. I wear glasses all the time, and so I actually have a lot of darkness here where my glasses sit on my nose. And so that's one of the first places I will always apply a little bit of concealer. I love the brush on our concealer. I just use this myself. Like I use it directly. We do have a concealer brush. We're not going to go deep into brushes today, but just so you know, we do have a cream concealer brush. You can use that here. And I have a little bit of dark circles under my eyes, so you can see we're kind of doing that. I'm going to actually use my foundation brush in a minute to kind of like smooth it out. I also put a little bit of concealer on my eyelids because when I tell you my eyelids are dark, they're dark. And you would never, ever see my makeup if I didn't lighten it up a little bit with my concealer. So I always will apply that. And then I'm going to do use my liquid foundation brush, or you could use your cream concealer brush. And then you guys, I just kind of dab to lighten up around this eye area. You'll see Kim is using her finger. She's doing amazing. Okay.
Yeah, they're warm, so they just kind of get it all melty and blendy. And with a smaller finger, a pinky or a ring finger, you're getting it right where it needs to be.
Exactly. And before we go any further, we are all going to take a picture. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And you probably don't have concealer if you're using samples, so it's all good. All right. So you're just watching us do concealer. But before we do our CC cream or anything further, let's take a picture. You're going to have a before and after picture to commemorate this experience. All right. And so I'm going to take my phone. I always you're going to put it in selfie mode, but I always like to kind of look up. Right? You never want to look down. You're going to create shadows and we don't want to double chin. Okay. So let's look up. I have great lighting because I have ring lights here for the purposes of a live. And we're just going to take a nice close up, no makeup whatsoever, nice clean skin. I have a little bit of concealer, but you know, and then we'll do a little comparable before and after. Make sure you post your before and after on your social media and tag your consultant and let us know so that we can see it too. You can tag us as well so we can see what was your favorite after all is said and done. Okay. And now I'm going to do CC cream. CC cream is amazing. Complexion correction cream. Again, I was afraid of glamour when I was starting my Mary Kay business. So CC cream was a great place for me to start. Although on a traditional everyday basis, I do use our matte 3D foundation. I personally use bronze C160. What color do you use, Kim?
So in our foundation, I am matte, bronze, warm, 130.
Okay, awesome.
But that's not my everyday go-to, though. I'm a cream to powder girl.
Are you a cream to powder girl?
I am. Bronze too.
Bronze also. Okay. I think in cream to powder, I'm bronze 3, actually. Yeah. And bronze C160, which means cool 160. I have a cool undertone to my skin. CC cream, I'm going to use very deep. So there's 5 colors in CC cream, which is why for most people, that's where we start you to match you, because it's easier to match you with 5 than 86, right? There's 86 foundation shades. And once we know your CC cream color, then we can kind of really navigate and narrow down your specific foundation shade. What I like about foundation, for example, it's age fighting. The CC cream does 3 things. It moisturizes. It also has SPF in it and has a little bit of tint to still help smooth and even your skin. I'm using very deep. What color are you using?
I am using deep.
Deep. Okay. So we have very light. We have light to medium, medium to deep, deep what Kim is using, very deep what Fair is using. Okay. So you saw Kim do a few dots right on directly on her face. I just put a little bit of CC cream right on my foundation brush using our liquid foundation brush. Love the bristles on this brush. Yes, it looks so good. It's angled for your face to really kind of get in there. And then I'm going to start at the top of my face, moving in downward strokes. CC cream is so nice and light. Easy, easy. CC cream is pretty much an everyday go-to. Like even if I'm not having a makeup day per se, I'm still likely going to at least have a CC cream day. Okay. So I'm still going to have a CC cream day. And for the purposes of today, we're doing CC cream, but connect with your consultant and she'll be happy to match your exact foundation color shade. Or if you're cream to powder like Kim, if you like a pressed powder, we've got that as well. All right, so when we're talking about kind of the beginning steps, priming, foundation primer, going to help that CC cream or foundation blend in nicely and adhere to your skin nicely. We did a little bit of concealer and then we did our CC cream. So Kim, let's jump to the brows.
Let's do it. All right. So I'm going to finish pressing this CC cream in and just talk about brows. So I wasn't necessarily afraid of makeup when I started my business 4 years ago, but what I was very simple and basic, right? Put some color on your face, put some on your eyes, do a little lips, all the things, cheek and brow and highlight and contour were like, why would anybody do all that? Well, know better, do better. And so now I fully understand that the frame of our face is, in fact, our brow. And so we want to make sure that that is always popping. So the two brushes, and they kind of go together right now, the two brushes that are kind of out of the crayon box here, the one we just got finished using, the foundation brush, our liquid foundation brush, which we love and couldn't live without. And then what I'm going to start us off on is our eyeliner and brow brush. So it's got two sides. So we have the spoolie on one side, and then we have the super precision fine tipped eyeliner one on the other side. So in going in with brows, I like to start by just prepping. Hey, I'm still here. Prepping. Going down.
You can see.
I know. It's so much to do. Anybody who's never tried to put makeup on while you're on camera, just know that it is not for the faint of heart. So I like to prep by just brushing down. And I'm going to talk us through this a little bit, but knowing that you all probably don't have this with you, I will also kind of skip ahead to some other fun facts about me. So I just finished doing the brush down just to kind of create a little bit of a shape for my frame. And then I am going in using brunette precision brow liner. It's so many words. So I'm going in using brunette. Farrah, what color precision brow liner do you use?
I actually use dark brunette. Okay. And so we are looking at mirrors off to the side just so that you guys know, because it is very difficult to not do that. So I've got my little mirror here to the side. But yes, I use dark brunette. I actually have very dark lashes to this day. Hallelujah. Praise God.
Yeah, you.
Uh-huh.
So we're just shaping up kind of that top section up there just to kind of give ourselves some place to color in. And if there's any confusion about where that is, really you are kind of at the top of what God gave you. If you've got anything extra growing there that hasn't been waxed or threaded or tweezed or plucked or whatever, you can really kind of clean that up with concealer on the back end. Fortunately, I am constantly doing makeup workshops, so I have a tendency to keep myself pretty trimmed up. So I'm going to go back in with my spoolie here on this brush and then do the exact opposite. And I'm going to brush up. And that way I'll be able to get that bottom line and get that nice and clean. So I'm going back in with my pencil. And these are short strokes. I mean, we are not drawing straight lines here. They are like little tiny dashes, right? Because I don't know about you, but I have never, ever been able to draw a straight line to save my life. So that is pen and paper as well as on my face. And so the good news is that the conventional wisdom is nobody should even bother trying because it's just too hard. So we're doing little dashes here. You'll see that same theme when we get down to the eyeliner as well, because Connect the dots is way easier than drawing a straight line. Let's face it. Especially like if you wear glasses or you're not like in front of a 10-time magnification mirror like I am, or any of the things, dashes are the way to go.
Love it. One of the things I love about the precision brow liner, you guys, just so you kind of see this, is goes in, comes out,
Yeah.
super, super easy. I found like the back in the day old brow liners, the pencil always breaking off. I mean, it wouldn't last me like a couple days, you know? So I love this. I don't want to get lost in the weeds of brows, but we could.
It's easy.
Brows could
Yeah, it's
be,
easy to do.
it could be its own class, okay?
Absolutely, and it is. So after that, I'm going to go in with our clear brow styling gel, and that's just going to kind of set what I've done in place, as well as give it kind of a nice little gloss. So I've created this frame because our brows really are the frame for our face. We want to make sure that our frame is set, because truly, I mean, you could easily just walk out the door with brows done and maybe a blush and a lip and still kind of look finished. And again, that's not what we're doing here this time, but just know the brows make a huge, huge difference. And we are always going in the direction that God put our brows. We don't want to make a whole new shape because that's weird. We just want to kind of work with what is. So I'm using the clear brow styling gel for purposes of setting, and then that's going to additionally create the shape, the final shape that I want for these brows. And a thing to remember with all of it, whether it's brows, blush, any of it, concealer, highlighting, contour, all of it, if you are anywhere over the age of like 18, you want to just focus on bringing things up, and that applies to your brows too. So instead of bringing that tip of the brow way down here like that, we want to kind of follow those natural lines but bring it up and out. So that is what I've got for you for brows. We've got those handy dandy tools there. And as we get ready to jump into the rest of our face, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about what comes in our brush set. Because again, if you are using samples and you are kind of working through this from a virtual perspective, you're probably not like in front of the brushes, but we're about to jump in deep to the brushes. So it comes in this beautiful case. It is vegan leather. And the brush set has 5 brushes that you can get any look done with these brushes. So we've got an all over powder brush for our foundation. We have a cheek brush. And what I love about this cheek brush, I have to show it now. I know it's coming up later, but it's got this great angle on it. So it's not just for blush, right? As you kind of grow in your makeup look, you might find that you want to dabble into highlighting or contouring, kind of snatching that face up, or creating lighter areas where you want to, look more luminous and alive and awake. So it's got 3 different zones on the brush, and we'll get into that a little bit more later. And then there's 3 brushes that are dedicated to the eye. So we've got the all over powder brush. We have the crease brush, which has a little angle as well. We love our angles. It's all about angles and lighting and blending. And we have the smudger brush, and that really does wonders to go ahead and clean up anything that may have kind of gone awry. So that is our brush set, and we're going to jump on in here and kind of hop to it. Farrah, what do you have for us next?
All right. Thank you, Kim. That was so amazing. Okay. So we're going to focus in on the eyes now. All right. When we do makeup, we tend to start from the top down. Mm-hmm. When we did skincare, we start from the bottom up. Okay. And so I'm going to teach you the way that I was taught, a very, very simple eyeshadow look. Again, remember, I was petrified about this, almost kept me from starting my Mary Kay business, but I'm going to teach you a simple eyeshadow look. You guys, like I said, likely have a palette that looks something like this with 3 different eyeshadows labeled 1, 2, and 3. Generally, when you see a palette and you see a palette built, It's built with eyeshadows that have these colors. The great thing about Mary Kay is you can customize your palette, and we have a completely customizable palette. We have a small one called the Petite Palette. We have a medium-sized one, and then we have a really big one called the Pro Palette, okay? But generally, you're probably gonna have a medium-sized one. It fits 3 eyeshadows and a cheek color. When you're looking at your eyeshadows, you generally will build it with 3. You have your darkest color, which on this palette is labeled number 2, and it is called your accent shade. You have your middle color on this palette. It's labeled number 1, and it's called your mid-tone shade. And then you have your lightest color, and it's your number 3 on this palette, and it is your highlighter shade, okay? And so we're gonna kind of work with that generally. I'll just use this, okay? Why not? Okay?
Why not?
It's covered with plastic, so you're gonna wanna peel the plastic right off, all
Very
right?
important.
You, again, likely have sponge tip applicators that your consultant sent you, but I'm going to show you with the real brushes, the 3 brushes that Kim mentioned. Now, everybody has all different ways that they do eyeshadows, okay? I want to just show you the most basic look that I kind of started with, and I think it's a good way to build, and then you can grow from there, play around, hang out, do an individual consultation with your consultant so that you can try other different things. One of the things I advise people to do when they're using this is I would use kind of like either the line of your sponge tip applicator, or I'm going to use this brush right here, and I kind of make a line down the middle, because sometimes people end up like a line down the middle here, if you guys can see that, because sometimes what people will end up at the end of their glamour and they're like, hey, I have no more left, all right? So you're going to use about half for one eye and half for the other for the purposes of our experience that we're doing today in Glamour 101, all right? So I'm going to start with the all over eyeshadow brush. You see the way that it's angled beautifully. I'm going to start with green, okay? I'm going to start with some green right here. You guys, our eyeshadows are very pigmented, high level of pigment. And so I advise you to dab and not rub, okay? You're going to dab into that color. I'm going to actually start with my number 2, which is my accent shade, all right? And I'm going to start with my number 2 accent shade. I'm going to start on my eyelid, okay? Now, if you need to add a little bit of tension, that's totally fine. But as Kim mentioned, the older we get, we want to always make sure we're pulling up. You're never going to pull across. You're certainly not going to pull down. So I like to just put a little bit on my eyelid of that accent shade there with my green. I'm going to actually get a little bit more green here, okay? All right, and then I'm going to dab, no rubbing. I'm going to dab, dab, dab on my eyelid there. I think the green is beautiful. Again, it's one of those things that would have been scary to me back in the day when I was initially thinking about starting glamour. But now I like to play around with colors, see how they are, how they look, staying within my eyebrows with my shadow. If you're using sponge tip applicator, you're just using one side of the applicator. You see with the brush, though, what's amazing is the long handle gives you so much more control, and it allows you to really have a good amount of control, okay? So do you see how pigmented those shades are? If you feel like you need more, add more, but I love how it allows you to have control. Kim, it looks like you're using, the names of the colors you're using. If you ever want, like you say to your consultant, oh my gosh, I love what I had, I want that palette. Or if you like what you see, in my number 2 here, this green is called Emerald Noir. Kim, you're using a purple Sweet Plum?
I'm not. I'm actually using a brown. I'm going for neutrals today. So I'm using mahogany.
Mahogany, that's beautiful. Okay. All right. So I just used my brush. Anytime your brush touches your face, you guys, a little bit of brush cleaner. And Mary Kay, of course, has one. Shameless plug. Okay. So a lot of times people will say, I don't use makeup because makeup breaks me out. Your brushes are probably breaking you out. Your brushes hold on to bacteria. So I just use a little spray of my makeup brush cleaner every single time my brush touches my face. So I've got this. And then once a month, I do a deeper cleanse of my brush with just Dawn antibacterial soap. Okay. So I did this. Now I'm going to use my crease brush for my crease appropriately. And I'm going to use my number 1 mid-tone shade. Okay. So number 1 on this palette, it would be number 1 on the palette you're using as well. And on this palette, it is hazelnut. All right. So again, I'm going to dab. I'm not going to get crazy with it because this is the color most people are going to see. All right. So everybody has a little bone here. It's like your brow bone. I'm actually wanting to be above where I just did my Emerald Noir, but below this bone right here in the crease. And again, I'm going to start from the outside moving in. Guys, I'm just going to bring that hazelnut in. I don't want to be windshield wiping back and forth too much, okay? I'm just going to, I'm trying to look in the mirror, do all this stuff, okay? I'm just going to bring it in, bring my brush in, dab, bring it in, okay? But I'm staying underneath my brow bone and staying within my eyebrows, all right? So I'm going, don't worry if it looks like a mess in the middle, all right? It's gonna all come together. I pulled this a little bit to add some tension. And again, everybody has different eye shapes. Again, if you have never done a full glamour experience with your consultant individually, we can target this for your eye shape. But, you know, I happen to have like a good amount of space here. But if you have more almond shaped eyes, or, you know, you might not have as much room here, that's okay. You're going to play around with it until you achieve a look that you like. See, unlike with glamour, I mean, unlike with skincare where there's so many rules, glamour is like a little bit more like play around till you love it, okay? And so that is one of the things as I was thinking about starting a Mary Kay business and growing in my glamour skills, that I was like, okay, this is a skill that I can grow in. And I had a lot of room to play because as a Mary Kay brand ambassador, we make 50% on everything that we sell, which allows us to get our products at 50% off, right? So one of the first things that I did when I was coming into Mary Kay and growing in my confidence in glamour was I really built a good repertoire of glamour, getting my products at 50% off. The good thing is, as you're growing, there's no quotas, there's no territories. You can sell $1, you can sell $1,000, you can do as much or as little as you want to do. But I had the room to do that. I dived in and played with all the products, including glamour, as I went along, and I got it all at 50% off for myself. And when you are a beauty influencer or brand ambassador with Mary Kay, you buy the products from 50% from Mary Kay directly, and you sell to the end user for 100%. So I got to play around with the products and do that. And one of the things too that I've appreciated about my business along the way too, let's go ahead and we're going to do our number 3, which is our highlighter shade. I'm using my smudger brush. Again, if you have a sponge tip applicator, you are going to use the tip of that applicator shade. Now I'm going to actually be on my brow bone, but underneath my eyebrow. And again, this can also help to shape your brows as you grow in brow work, okay? And I'm going to kind of stay under here. My highlighter shade is also my Fix It shade. So if I'm ever like, wow, that's really green, okay, I'm going to bring this in and kind of bring these 3 colors in together, all right? Smudging, if you will, with our smudger brush, kind of bringing everything in together, okay? I'm going to bring that in. And I will tell you, like I said, one of the things that I'm grateful for with my Mary Kay business is the woman that I've become in the process, grown in my confidence and skills, grown in my speaking skills. If you can believe that I'm here doing a live teaching glamour. If you had met Farrah Fontaine back in the day, you would have been like, yeah, that's never going to happen. Okay. So I'm so grateful for my girlfriends that I get to have in Mary Kay that do this with me, that are patient with me as I'm growing and learning, for the woman that I've become, the leadership skills that I've gained, and the women that I get to be around. I've absolutely loved that throughout the years of my business. Okay, you guys, now we're going to seal up our look with our eyes with the 2 things that really, I mean, that really seal the deal with your eyes. Okay, that is your eyeliner and that is your mascara. All right, I'm going to use our waterproof eyeliner. All right. This is actually not my waterproof eyeliner. Haha, where is my waterproof eyeliner? Fun times. Okay, Kim is going to use our waterproof eyeliner. This is live. It's all happening live, and it's very.
This is real life. Kind of like we're in our bathroom putting our makeup on, and
exactly.
Almost 5 minutes late. So why don't you talk about it and I'll do it?
All right. So, okay. But I'm going to use the other eyeliner, but you know, your consultant may have the other eyeliner. She may not. It's all good. We're just going with everything that's happening. It's all good. Okay. All right. So Kim is using our waterproof eyeliner, which is the eyeliner that I highly recommend that you use. It is beautiful. It has an absolutely beautiful tip and it's amazing. You'll see that she's lining. We want to line as close to our lashes as possible. All right. Those of us that were around in the 80s and 90s, we used to like go crazy with it. We're not going crazy with it. Okay. All right. We went through our goth phase in the 80s and 90s, but we're not doing that anymore. You're just going to line as closely to your lashes as possible. You can do eyeliner on the top only, none on the bottom. Great. You can do top and bottom. Great. You really, again, we're letting go of the only bottom eyeliner in this season. Okay, guys, we're letting it go. We're letting it go. Eyeliner just brings the drama. All right. Starting at the edge, going as close to that lash line as possible. If you mess up, that brush that Kim used before with her brow brush on the other side is an eyeliner brush that's going to help you kind of refine that line. Do you guys see the difference between the eye with no eyeliner and the eye with eyeliner and the eye with no eyeliner? It's dramatic. I mean, this even looks droopier and smaller. But
Yep.
as soon as you add eyeliner, oh my gosh, brings the drama. What I love about the waterproof eyeliner is it helps to protect from the ordinary your moisture your eyes create, which is normal and ordinary. Unless you're boohoo crying, it's not going to come off just because you have like a tear slip through or it's a hot day. If it happens to be a hot day or, muggy or whatever's going on, that waterproof eyeliner stays and looks amazing the entirety of the time. Same thing with the mascara as we move on to our mascara. The mascara is water resistant, not waterproof, all right? Unless you go deep sea diving every day, you don't need waterproof eyeliner. But the ultimate mascara that I'm using today is water resistant. Kim is using the Lash Intensity Mascara. We have, again, all different types of mascara, so connect with your consultant and she can help you figure out the mascara that's right for your needs. But from the day you open your mascara to 3 months later, you must get a new one. By the end of 3 months, your mascara has more bacteria than a toilet bowl seat. When I apply mascara, ladies, I'm going to open my eyes wide, start at the base of my lashes, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle my wand. I need my mirror again. Okay, I'm going to wiggle, wiggle my wand, pull up, wiggle, wiggle my wand, pull up. All right. Our ultimate mascara has enriching conditioners for your lashes. You can use on the bottom if I happen not to have bottom lashes, so
Yeah,
don't
mine
really
don't
do
really
that much.
exist.
Okay, don't really do that much. But again, mascara could probably be a whole class that we sit here and do for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
But
know that I'm showing an enormous amount of restraint right now by only
right, we're just going
one
to
mascara and only
do
putting on one coat.
blood coat, okay? But
Yeah.
again, just brings the drama and really brings that eye look all together. In the midst, you might have had your doubts as to how your eyes were going to turn out, but once you put it all together, do your smudger brush, do your eyeliner, do your mascara. Oh my gosh, you guys are looking amazing. Let us know in the comments
Right?
what you're loving the most so far that you've learned. Continuing from the top down, we're going to move into some cheek color or blush as it is traditionally known. And yeah, so we did really good with our eyes. You guys are looking so good. Make sure you send us pictures and tag us in the
Absolutely.
comments. You can
We
post
need to
it.
see it all.
Exactly. If you're watching us on Facebook, post it. If you're watching us on YouTube, post it in the comments. We want to see you. All right, Kim, are you ready? Let's do some cheek color.
I'm absolutely not ready. So while I get ready, because again, know that I brought both of these in here because I thought I'd have time, but that's ridiculous. So in my time, as I have kind of grown in my makeup situation, I have just been so incredibly grateful for our company because they've provided us with some products that are amazing, like constantly being tested for efficacy, for safety, to make sure that everything is clean and that it works and does what it says it's going to do. And I mean, when we're in this makeup realm, like makeup companies come and go, like 60 plus years, almost 61 years in the game here. This is pretty good stuff, and people know it around the world. I mean, this is a #1 skincare and makeup direct selling brand in the world. Like, these are products we can believe in, right? Say it with us here. One good time. #1. Yeah, like there is no prize for being #2. We're #1. So the products are so incredible. Our makeup, a little goes an incredibly long way. All of it is highly pigmented, and it just makes me feel really confident. Like, we've all had makeup that's like, who came up with this idea? And that's just literally never the case with our Mary Kay brands. So we're going to go in and we're going to use this fantastic cheek color that we talked about earlier. And again, we're just going to tap, tap, tap it into that blush. We don't want to be swirling and swirling our brush around. Now, you at home, you're probably using a cotton circle for this purpose. And again, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to tap, tap, tap. It's not going to seem like you got a whole lot of product there, but trust and believe, it's very pigmented and it's a whole lot easier to get it off if put more on than it is to take it off if you put too much on, especially when it comes to our cheek colors. So I like to just kind of start right here where I feel my cheekbone. And again, we are going up and I am pressing. I'm always pressing. I'm never swirling. I'm just pressing that color right in. And I want to take it up because I want it to be lit. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at the difference there. I'm telling you, when I started kind of delving in because I had no choice because I'm a Mary Kay girl, I didn't understand blush. I didn't understand why I would wear blush. I didn't get it. But now I won't leave the house without it. Oh, wow. We should have had me in solo view before I put both sides on. But you can see here that it just lifts everything up, right? Like it's giving me a nice sun-kissed look. And once we go in with the powder, I'll have a chance to kind of blend that line out. But yeah, it just lifts everything up there. And I was just using the center of this brush because the other sections are there and they are intended for contour and highlight, which kind of frame that blush area. One of the other tips and tools around cheek color is that we want to make sure that we are not getting it close to our nose because we don't want to enlarge the look of the nose. So really the rule of thumb is you want to start about 2 fingers away from your nose. And fortunately, I do this enough that that's about where it's hitting. So that works out. That works out. So let's move on to one of my favorite things, lip liner. So you probably don't have this at home, and that's okay. So I am obsessed with lip liner. If you've ever hung out with me before, you know this. And you might also know that I was one of those people that Farrah referenced who was around in the 80s. And listen here, this hot pink lip liner and the lip gloss that I like to pair with it take me back to the 80s. And I'm a forever 80s girl. I can't let it go. So there's a bunch of different ways that we can put lip liner on, but when we are putting on lip liner that's going to match the color of lip color that we're using, we want to kind of follow a pretty basic angle. So I like to start from the outer corner, and I'm going to stop talking and just do it because, you can see where this might get kind of difficult. Mm-hmm. And so then I'm framing there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Now, notice I didn't go all the way up. Now, when I do this with a more neutral color or like a darkish brown, this is what I call my Pac-Man, and I can leave it right here. So it's just the outer corners to start. And again, with a hot pink, this may not be enough, right? We probably want to kind of drag that together. But if you're using something that's closer to your skin tone, this little Pac-Man situation is actually really lovely. Now, because we are going to do a color that is very similar, I'm using Pink Fusion, so we'll get to that. Oh, it's giving. I'm going to connect the dots here. So on the bottom, it's a little more connect the dots behavior. On the top, I want to define that widow's peak right here. And I want to bring that color down. So I'm making a little X. So I got a nice little X here. And what's going to happen is that when I blot my lips together, that's going to help get that color down below. So I'll go ahead and connect the dots. So I've created a frame here. Again, I'm using hot pink, but this lip liner comes in all different colors. I know not everybody is team doing the most like me. So I'm going to blot my lips together. And we've got a nice little frame there, and that's going to last all day long. So no matter how much I eat or drink or talk or any of the things, that color is going to be there all day long. So then I'm going to go in with my lip gloss. And again, I'm using Pink Fusion because, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
All right, while she does that, for those of you that might just have the palette, you're going to actually take the black from the white here, and this is your lip color, okay? And you probably have a lip balm that looks like this, all right? And then you're just going to apply a little bit of lipstick. Happen to have Appleberry on this palette, all right? Which is actually one of my faves. Yeah, one of my faves. So very nice. I love berries in general. I'm actually going to top this with my evening berry anyway because it's my signature color and I always have evening berry on.
Nice.
I'm just going to top this on. I mean, you guys all know, I think, how to use lipstick, nothing fancy. All right. I love berries. I still always top with a lip gloss. Again, that may be my old school showing. But especially because I like more of a glossy look than a matte look. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So even with our semi-matte lipsticks, I still like it super glossy. So I have my Appleberry underneath and I'm still going to top it with my evening berry.
That looks really good.
Yeah,
that looks really, really good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Well. Yeah, we see you. So before we start finishing, I do want to kind of talk about like a little bit more about my journey in the business, whether it relates to makeup, skincare, or just kind of being here. Anybody that's been around knows that I kind of showed up on my first virtual skincare experience, kicking and screaming, wanted nothing to do with anything. And all the things that we've kind of been talking about, the product guarantee, the fact that the company has been around for so long, and the 50%, the fact that there's flexibility in starting a business like this. But the other thing that I heard that was like really, really impactful and memorable was that this company was started by a real woman. Like Mary Kay is not just a trade name. That was her actual name, Mary Kay Ash. She was a grandmother. She was recently widowed. She was 55 years old. And her whole entire purpose for starting this company was to create an opportunity to empower other women. She could not have conceived in 1963 that we would be in 35 or more markets around the world, that millions and millions of lives would have been impacted by her decision, her $5,000, her resilience, and her desire to pay it forward. But here we sit now, still a family-owned company, still operating on the principles that she believed in when she opened the doors of this company on September 13th, 1963, that our priorities as human beings, as women, and definitely as brand ambassadors for Mary Kay, God first, family second, and career third. And that as long as we're operating within those confines, that everything else will fall in line. The other thing that she was dedicated to, and that we still are as a sales force and as a company today, is do unto others as you would have others do unto you. The golden rule, like we've all heard it before, but sometimes we forget, right? We have the privilege and the benefit of being in a company that we lead with that. That's something that we are always demonstrating, whether it's with our, each other, with our sister consultants, or with our customers or anybody who we meet. And we just absolutely love that. The other thing that impressed me that very first time, other than the quality of the products, was that in, almost 30 years ago, Mary Kay saw what was happening around the workforce and decided to create a charitable arm of the company as well, because she saw that there were real issues that were impacting these women whose lives were being changed by the business. And so to this day, the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation has donated, I want to say it's 96. Yes, I wrote this
Right.
down.
That's right.
$96 million to two of the primary causes that it supports. Number one is research into cancers that affect women, which are primarily ovarian and breast cancer. And the other is keeping domestic violence shelters open for women and their children across the United States. I heard those things that first time and was like, this is something special. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you agree?
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. All right, you guys, make sure you let us know in the comments what you've loved so far, what tip you've enjoyed kind of learning about the most. If you have samples, what you loved, whether on your palette or that you tried. Or again, you can feel free to text your consultant and let her know, hey, I want to try this. I want to try that. Okay. Now we're going to wrap up with kind of the final things that I usually do to wrap up my glamour look. We're going to use powder. Kim is going to use a silky setting powder, and I'm going to use a translucent powder. And again, I will tell you that I kind of thought, somebody with my deep bronze skin, is translucent powder the thing, or is it going to look too, a little too ghosty on me? But translucent powder is for everybody. So I'm using my powder brush that comes in the brush set. I'm going to tap off any excess. We never want to blow on our brushes because we're blowing bacteria right onto the brushes. We're just going to literally kind of tap that powder in, and it helps to bake my look, if you will. Take away any shine. You see that Kim's doing that over there as well with her silky setting powder. Translucent powder, as its name implies, is translucent. Doesn't necessarily add any color to it, but it does take away the shine and bake in your look. Silky setting powder is, again, we have a variety of shades from the lightest ivory to the deepest bronze in the silky setting powder. So that does add a little bit more color and to your makeup. But you can see, even with translucent setting powder, you can see we're just taking away any last shine that's left, leaving it nice and baked and matte, whether you're using the silky setting powder or the translucent powder like I'm using too. And my gosh, you guys, I could dab with this brush all day.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
oh my goodness. Again, something that I didn't realize about makeup till I started to get into it as a brand ambassador. And I'll tell you, it took me like a year to really start to get into it. And in that year, I earned my very first Mary Kay career card and became a sales director. So don't worry if you're sitting here like, well, I could never do what you guys are doing. So that's why I wouldn't be successful at Mary Kay. We didn't know how to do what we were doing until we did it. All right. And we learned as we grew. You never start a Mary Kay business and they're like, good luck, hope it all works out. No, we're going to walk with you, teach you, support you. We probably have beauty influencers hanging out with us for Glamour 101, learning just like you're learning as well as a customer. So the next thing that I do to make sure that my makeup, kind of stays on all day is what we call a makeup finishing spray. Again, 80s and 90s throwbacks, but hairspray for the face. Okay.
Yeah.
And so makeup finishing spray is like hairspray for the face. I'm going to hold it. We've got our makeup finishing spray. It is water-based. You never want to use any oil-based finishing spray on your face, water-based. I'm going to hold it about 3 feet away from my face. I'm going to T and X 4 sprays. And you guys, that is going to help your makeup stay on all day. If you're doing something really major, like a wedding, a funeral, you're really going to be out. Sometimes I will apply makeup finishing spray after my foundation primer before I do any of the rest of my makeup. And then again at the end, just like we're doing now. Okay. So now I'm going to put on my glasses. We're going to take our final picture. This is the, kind of after picture, if you will. All right. So we're going to hold up our phone at the angles. What a difference. Woo! All right. And we're going to take our pictures. Make sure to tag us. Make sure that you, kind of send that before and after to your consultant as well. Now, you guys, if you loved anything that you tried, we have different skincare and glamour sets. Kind of shows you what goes together, and things generally tend to be more economical by the set. So connect with your consultant and she can text you a picture of the sets and help you kind of mix and match depending on what you loved and what you tried or what you heard about today. So if there's something you want to take home, your consultant has a full store. She can help you grow in your confidence and in your glamour confidence. We are so excited that you were here and grateful that you joined us. If you are thinking about starting a Mary Kay business, how does that work, Kim?
Oh my gosh, it is so easy. You've never heard of an easier business to start. It is as simple as filling out a piece of paper. It's an electronic piece of paper, but a paper all the same. It's $35 to start the business. And the questions are really just like, how do we get in touch with you? Who are you? Um, you know, what do you love most about Mary Kay? Why are you interested in getting started here? And what comes with that $35 is an amazing welcome kit. So you'll get enough samples to get you started so that you can start kind of sharing the products with other people. It walks you through kind of the first few months of your business and what that's going to look like, as well as you instantly and immediately not only get that 50%, but you also get a company designed and maintained website, as well as the ability to process credit cards. So that is the $35. And then once that happens, then you get together with one of us, one of the mentors, and you get the whole menu about what this can be so that you can decide how to craft the business that you want that fits into your life with your busy schedule and everything that you've got going on. So it's super easy. And we're here to support you as you start your new journey.
Yay! Well, you guys, we are so grateful that you joined us for Glamour 101. Make sure that you connect with your brand ambassador for any questions. If you want a deeper look, if you've never done skincare or you haven't done all the skincare modules, like maybe you've done basic skincare, but you haven't experienced some of the supplements like charcoal mask, microdermabrasion, facial peels, everything in Mary Kay is tried before you buy. So we are happy to support you in loving the skin you're in with skincare and with glamour. Thank you so much, everyone. All right.
And don't forget, this month, in the month of August, this is all the more reason for you to be here and for you to get your face all beat up right now, because the makeup contest, the Mary Kay Your Way contest, is well underway. And we want you to get entered because we want you to win. This is a fantastic, all expenses paid spa day holiday in Arizona for our grand prize winners, as well as $1,000 in spending money, spa treatments, a luxury hotel, airfare, all the things, and in addition to a bunch of Mary Kay products. For those who are getting the cash prize, it's $500. Now, whose life could that change? Right. So the only thing that you have to do is have walked through this process with your beauty consultant, whether you're here right now and she's where she is. Just reach out to her, send her your selfie, and tell her what you love about your look, and she will make sure that you get entered into this amazing contest. Yay!
All right, Kim, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you and play in makeup. We are so blessed to do what we do. It's always a pleasure to hang out with all of you. Thank you again for joining us.